Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Arise and Thrive.
Woohoo! Here we are.
We are super excited to be with you guys again today. And today is an exciting day because it is Christmas Eve and tomorrow is the big day we've all been waiting for and preparing for and been excited for all year. My kids are so excited.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been counting down to Christmas since Halloween ended.
That's always good.
Oh, it's so magical, the Christmas season, when you're around kids. They still have that magical glint in their eye. It's just really fun. So,
Yeah. The Christmas jitters, it's like they're super excited and, like, just so excited.
yeah, for sure. So today, Liz and I would like to talk about some tips to help you slow down and enjoy this Christmas season because a lot of times during the holidays, we just are busy and it's stressful and there's so much hustle and bustle and things going on. And so we thought that this would be a great topic not only for us, but also for all of our listeners to just help you slow down, enjoy the Christmas season, enjoy your family. And so we know this will be a really valuable episode for you guys today. And our first topic we wanted to talk about was it is okay to say no. What? Are you serious? Yes, we're serious, guys. So if you get invited to something and you feel like your attention needs to be somewhere else, it is all right to say no. No, we can't make it. No, we won't be able to be there. Thank you so much for inviting us. And I wanted to give an example of this. Earlier this month, I was invited to a Christmas party with some other women in the area that I live in. And it sounded really fun, and there was going to be prizes, and you're going to wear holiday shirts, and there's going to be holiday food. It was going to be really, really fun and exciting. But that day, I just really felt like I wanted to stay home with my husband. He works really long hours. He's been working for a lot of shifts already, and I also had a sick child at home for a few days, and I just really felt like I was needed at home, even though I already asked him. He said I could go and it was fine. He was like, yeah, go have fun. I just, in my gut, I was like, I just don't want to go. I want to stay here. I want to cuddle with you on the couch. I want to read stories with my kids and put them to bed. And so, you know what? I did not go. And I am so glad I didn't go because what I needed that day was to be with my family, to spend time with my husband, and to just sit and relax on the couch. We read some Christmas stories. I put my kids to bed, and then I watched a movie, a funny movie with my husband, watched a comedy and laughed together and just relaxed. And then I went to bed early, and I was like, and when I was going to bed, I was like, I would still be at that party right now. And it was exactly what I needed. I'm a very social butterfly. I like to be with people. I like to meet new people and do different things. But you know what? Sometimes it is okay to say no. It is okay to do what you need to do and spend time with just your family.
That is so good. I think when we're younger, we think we have to do everything and please everybody. And even sometimes when we're older, we get stuck in that trap too. So I think the older and wiser that you get, it's like, okay, and I love that you just listen to yourself. What do I need? You went inside and said, okay, what is it that I need? And you knew you just wanted to stay home and be cozy and be with the close loved ones that you had right inside your home, even though it would have been a great time, I'm sure, to go hang out with friends. But that's so cool. I love that way to slow down. Sometimes we just need to like clear our schedule or say, you know what? I had these things on my list, but right now you're most important. And I'm picking you right now. And I'm picking me and our marriage, or, me and my children and our relationship. And it's okay to say no and to choose. Because when you actually say no, you're saying yes to something else. So it's okay to say yes to your top relationships and make those a priority in your life. That's cool. I like that. So good. Are we ready for number 2?
Yes, we are ready for number two. So number two is giving gifts of yourself. So Liz, why don't you take this one away?
Yeah, I like this one. I've thought a lot about, everyone's thought a lot about gifts, right? Hello, it's
Oh
Christmas.
yeah.
Like, what am I giving to my in-laws? What am I giving to my parents? What am I giving to my siblings, the kids, your spouse? So everybody's been thinking, what am I giving? What am I giving? Especially as parents, we think that a lot. Sometimes we're thinking, what am I receiving? What's my Christmas gift? Or what will I get at this white elephant Christmas party or whatever, right? We're like, what will I receive? Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's great. You get that gift card to the restaurant you want to go to or whatever. Sometimes you get the regifted item that nobody wanted, the awkwardness of the parties, right? No, it's all good. It's just fun. It's just a time of play and giving and receiving. But so we were at a Christmas party, and this was kind of a cool thing that this sweet Santa did at this party. My kids were some of the first in line to talk to him and sit on his lap. So my 5-year-old and 7-year-old climb up there on Santa's lap, and he had this really beautiful, real full beard, and it was his beard, and he looked great, and it was kind of fun to see that real beard because my son had been to an event earlier that week and said, that's not the real Santa because he had brown eyebrows and brown eyes. And he's like, he knew it. He knew it was not the real Santa. So this Santa definitely had my son's heart and his interest. And this Santa leaned down and he says to my little Jordan, what are you going to give for Christmas? And my son literally said, what the heck? Because he was not expecting that question. And my son says the funniest things sometimes. Like one time we went in to talk to our spiritual leader about, some donations we had given in the end of year. And he sat down and said, I want my money back. He is such a funny kid. So anyway, it never really surprises us what comes out of his son's mouth. But he said, he's wondering why Santa's asking him, what are you going to give this Christmas? And so he asked that question and my kids were kind of stumped, and I helped him think of some of the things that they're going to give, especially to like the in-laws that are living with us, or my brother and sister-in-law that are living with us right now. They picked out something special for them. And so I was like, remember how you got this gift? And so then they had an answer and stuff. But I liked that question because I think it's really important to think about what we're going to give, and not that it has to be wrapped in a package or be an item, but there's a really cool gift that we can give, and that's a gift of self, which is our time and our attention. And those two things are like priceless. You can't buy them at Walmart or Target or online at Amazon, but gift of self is so, so, so important. And that is what really helps people feel loved, is that gift of self. So to really focus in on them. And maybe it's, hey, you have this new toy or whatever, I'm going to sit here and play with you and be a part of your experience. And one of the cool things that I like to think about when we want to give our gift of self, and Christina brought this one up when we were kind of reviewing and talking about this episode, is to remember to turn off your technology. Because, sometimes we're like, okay, I'm going to spend these 10 minutes with my child, and all of a sudden a text comes in, and that 10 minutes we're on there responding to this text instead of really focusing in on our child or our spouse or whoever it was that we were going to spend the time with. So the question is, what are you going to do to give of yourself, whether it's your time or your attention? And the last one, number 3, is it helps you to slow down and be present when you are with your family during the holidays. So that's number 3, is how to slow down and be present. And one of the best ways to do this is to be mindful. We talk about mindfulness with like meditating or yoga, being mindful in our yoga practice, or qigong, or whatever we do. But we can actually be mindful in our everyday experiences with our family members. And one of the ways we can do this is to bring in our senses. What am I seeing? What am I feeling? And what am I hearing? What do I feel? So all those senses help you to have a more mindful experience in that moment. If you go back and think about, like someone was talking about brains and how we can remember these amazing moments throughout our kids' lives. And one of them was the moment that they're born and they're put into your arms. And all of a sudden, this flood of memories came in for me. And it was because of the feelings that I felt at that moment and the smells and that warmth of my baby's skin on my chest. And just like I can feel it right now as I'm talking about how beautiful that moment is. But the reason why it is so beautiful and remembered inside of our minds is because of all those senses that we felt in that moment. And so when you're having these experiences with your family, you can think to yourself, what could I do to enhance this moment first? Like maybe I need to make eye contact with my child while we're playing Candyland. Or maybe, kind of pat their leg and be like, you made it to the candy castle or whatever, so like maybe some physical touch, maybe some words of praise, maybe, whatever that is that you can add to it. But then with your experience, you can receive or be mindful of that moment by bringing in your senses. And anyway, so I love this one because it's like you can open yourself up to having and receiving such a cool memory and an experience with this person when you are mindful and present.
And I want to talk about a way that you can help others be present is by including them. And so we were talking before we started recording about how when you're cooking dinner, invite your kid over to stir the, spaghetti sauce and to add in the salt and the pepper and just be by including them in what you're doing. There's so many times we're doing everyday tasks and things as parents. And I think a lot of times we don't think to, invite the kids over to include them or your spouse over and include him. But that's one huge way that we can also slow down and be present, especially during this holiday season while everybody's home and you're going to be doing a lot of cooking and a lot of cleaning. So you might as well be doing it together and sharing in those experiences together. And while you do that, and while you slow down and feel and use your senses, like Liz said, I think you'll really be able to enjoy just even those everyday normal moments that we have.
Yeah. So say it snows. We got a lot of snow this morning. And it's like, oh, we got to go shovel. Well, instead of kids just be inside doing cartoons while you take care of the business outside or your husband or whatever, you can bring them in that experience with you. And I think that's cool to think of how can I include my loved ones in this and make it fun. And so, yeah, I love the cooking one too. Just like a week or two ago, we set a schedule of each of my children will help me cook on a specific night. But then it's such a cool time for them to not only, instead of being downstairs watching TV with their brothers, which is just another day, another TV episode, then they get to learn how to cook a meal, whether it's tacos or spaghetti or whatever, they're learning. But then I'm also able to interact with them and talk with them. And it's been so much fun. Like they gave me a little resistance when we first started because, it's work, it's harder than sitting on the couch, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. And then they get a lot of praise at dinner, like, oh, you made the dinner, it tastes really good, or I like what you did with this or that. So I think it's important for people to feel needed and to feel appreciated. And when we play a part and we contribute, we're able to give a part of ourselves, but also to build that family that we love. And so it's like everybody wins. The family's strengthened, the person's strengthened, and being able to include people in those activities. And then, just these three things I think are so important. Let's review them one more time before we move on. But the first one was
it's okay to say no. We give you permission to sit back and relax if that's what you need to do.
Yes. Number 2 is give the gift of self. So think of ways that you can be more present and give that attention of self and time, your time.
And number 3 is slow down and be present in the moment.
Yep. And include your family and loved ones in the activities you're already doing in a fun way.
Mhm.
And yeah, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. It's been such a good year. I can't believe it's coming to an end. There's been so many good things for us, a lot of ups and downs. This has been a year that's been hard. We lost our dad this year, as you guys know, and but it's been a good year. And one of the things we'd like to encourage you is last year at the end of year, we did an end of year review episode. So if you are kind of wondering, how can I kind of close off this year in a strong way and move forward into my new year with intention, with good intention to make positive changes, you can go back and listen to that episode. It's just at the end of 2020. 2020, we're in 2021. And then we also would like to invite you to check out our course that we have coming up in January. It's going to be so awesome. We've got it filling up fast and some amazing people in there, just wonderful people that want to move forward on their goals and are super supportive and fun to be around. And the class is called Vision in 2020. It's just, the intention is to get you in there, to get you focused on your goals and get a vision for what you want for the year, and then give you a jump start. We'll help you do action steps daily towards the goal that you pick. You can pick anything that you have been wanting to make happen in your life. Maybe losing some weight or eating more healthy. Maybe it's organizing. Maybe it's a career goal, photography, or maybe you're starting a little side business of some kind, or whatever it is that you are interested in and wanting to move forward in, we want to support you in. It could be relationships, it could be your own personal, just getting things done, having a little bit more energy. And the sky's the limit. Whatever it is that you're struggling in or you want to move forward on and you're ready for that next level, we will support you in that and help you with it. And the cool thing is we have live trainings. Christina, why don't you tell them a little bit about the trainings and what's included in that? We don't need tons of details, but
Yeah, so we meet once a week and have live trainings in a group setting. So we'll get on Zoom and we'll learn all about mindset and making a vision board and just little things that you can do every single day to work toward your goals. And then you'll have some awesome accountability, which is huge for reaching your goals. And it's just a lot of fun. We're really excited. So if you go on the show notes and click on the link for our website for Vision in 2021, you can register for the class and we'd love to have you in it.
Yeah, and we've got a special going on till the end of the year and it's $47. Such a good deal. This class, the cheapest we've ever gone is $99, but it's priced at like $299 because this is really awesome. You get the mentoring in the group setting. You have access to us. You can ask us questions. We'll help you out with whatever you need. You've got these groups that you can be accountable to. And it just is the perfect setting to move forward in a positive, fun way to make positive, fun things happen in your life and get some movement going, some forward movement and growth. So anyway, we'd love to have you. There's also one other opportunity that I'd like to mention. I have the coolest Qigong instructor, Dr. Hone. He is so cool. He's from the Elements of Life Institute, and I've taken classes from him before, and he's actually doing a free webinar coming up where he's going to talk to you about some of the principles of Qigong, why it would benefit you, and just give you more details about that and how to have more personal power in your life. There's a lot of negative out there. So kind of separating you from all of that negative and establishing the power and energy that you want in your own personal life. And so we'll have a link in the show notes as well for his free class. It's coming up, I don't know if it's the very end of December or right at the beginning of January. I'll have to double check on that date, but I know it's coming up soon. So we'll have that in the notes. You can go and sign up and he'll send you a link for the free Zoom webinar and you can check that out. So if you have questions too, you can contact us on our webpage and we'd love to reach out and help you in any way we can.
Yeah, and for those that are still on here, we do have a oops moment for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. I recently went to Durango, Colorado. It is almost 4 hours from my house. I'd never been there before, and you go through basically the most beautiful mountains in Colorado that you've ever seen. You drive through those for at least 3.5 hours.
Woohoo.
And we got to Silverton, Colorado, which is a really old mining town for silver. And as we got there, well, we first stopped in Ouray and went swimming, and then like, okay, well, we need to leave. You know, we knew exactly what time we needed to leave so we could get to our hotel and shower and get dinner and then make it on the train. So, you know, we'd had plenty of time. So we get to Silverton, and from Silverton, we have at least another hour and 20 minutes until we get to Durango. And the road is closed, and the road worker comes up to our car, and we're like, oh, great. We're the only the second car in line. And he's just
Whoa.
like, hey, where are you guys going? We're like, oh, Durango. We're gonna go take the Polar Express train ride. And he's like, oh, really? Well, what time is that at? And you know, we're like, oh, it's at we need, I think 6:30. We were supposed to be there at 6:30. And he's like, you might make it, not sure. A truck fell off the road and it had a trailer, and so everybody's fine, but we have a team getting the truck and trailer pulled off of this cliff. So we'll see. We're kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, great. So we just sit there, we're waiting, and you know, time goes by. It was over an hour and a half, and finally the road was open, and we're like, okay, we have enough time to make it to the train. Like we didn't have time to go to shower, we didn't have time to go to dinner, but we had time to go through a Wendy's drive-through and to get on the train. So as we start going, the tire pressure in our tire is very low in one of the tires, and we're like, we literally do not have time. And Silverton's tiny. I don't think there even would have been a tire shop. Like, there's not a tire shop there. There's not a fast food restaurant there. That's, it's like really small. And so we're like, we're probably good. So we just keep driving, and uh, my husband was going really slow because the roads were, of course, dangerous anyway. So we drove slow, and we get there, and we make it to the train. That's all we cared about. We got on the train, we had a good time, and then afterwards, we found a gas station and filled the tire up with air, and then we made it to our hotel. And when we woke up in the morning, the tire was completely flat.
Whoa.
And so we're like, oh, great. And luckily, our hotel was literally right next to Walmart, and they have a tire center at that location. And so my husband drove it to the tire center, and he was there for a really long time. Like, my kids started asking me, so what happens if the car doesn't get fixed? And my husband had work the next morning at 6 a.m. I'm like, I guess dad's gonna get a rental car and we're gonna stay in Durango for until the car's done. But luckily it all worked out. They were able to, they said there was a rock in our tire. I've never heard of that happening, but anyway, watch out for those rocks on the road, I guess.
Wow.
And it was just interesting. Like, there was just, I feel like there were so many things in this. Like, it was a little trip. It was not even like 48 hours. It was one night, you know, it was like a 30-hour trip or something like that. And
Yeah.
just, there were just so many things happened, but yet we were still able to enjoy ourselves and have fun. And I feel like the older I get, the more I realize, like, things are always going to happen that you have no control over, and it's fine. Like, whatever happens is fine. If we had to stay in Durango an extra night or two, whatever, it was fine. If he had to get a rental car, it's fine. Like, I don't know, it's funny. I feel like I've learned a lot in the past couple years. Like, before, I would have been like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Like, I would have been panicking and things, but I was totally calm. The kids and I just played card games in the lobby of the hotel, and then we went outside and skated on some ice that a puddle had frozen, and we just like played outside until the car was done. And anyway, I guess the moral of this oops moment is that, you know, bad things happen, you know, all the time, but I really think your attitude makes all the difference. Like, it didn't matter to me. Like, nothing could have ruined our trip. It was just really nice spending time with family, and just it was a time that I think feel like we did kind of slow down and just kind of enjoyed the moment and enjoyed our time together. So we hope that this Christmas season and this holiday season and New Year's, and while you guys are all home together, that you can just turn off your cell phones, disconnect from the world if that's what you need to do, and really connect in with your family and have just the best Christmas ever.
Awesome. Merry Christmas to everybody. We love you. Have a great holiday.